My boyfriend gave me a pros and cons list about Emmy as part of our anniversary present. I'm going to write a fair bit of backstory because I think it's relevant, but I'll put a TLDR at the bottom. I met my boyfriend on Tinder in the beginning of my freshman year of college. I was a very naive 18-year-old. I'd been on dates, but I'd never been in a relationship, and I hadn't even had my first kiss yet. I was pretty miserable my first couple of weeks after move-in, and so I got Tinder, and there I matched with a bunch of guys who went to my school. One of them I thought was pretty attractive. He was a junior and a brother in a good but notorious frat. He told me to come to his frat's party, so I went with some girls I'd met at orientation. There he took me upstairs and we made out, but I think he could tell I was very inexperienced, so nothing more happened. I pretty much fell in love with him, even though we'd said about 3 words to each other. I didn't see him until a couple of weeks later when he invited me to a party he was throwing. I was expecting us to at least hook up, but when we got there, he was clearly with another girl, and there were tons of other random girls who I assumed he was also hooking up with. I was naive, but not an idiot, so I forced myself to get over it, and I didn't see him until my spring semester, when I drank too much and he ended up at my dorm and I lost my virginity to him. I didn't see him again until fall semester of my sophomore year. We hooked up the first week we were back on campus. I still didn't catch feelings again, though, until we started to hook up regularly every week. At that point, I was again pretty much in love with him. Although this time I did have reasons beyond just him being a large, attractive, popular man. We weren't dating, but we got to know each other, and I saw his many virtues. However, it was still clear to me that he wasn't into me in that way, and that I was one of a number of women he was sleeping with. So I didn't say anything, and I kept it casual. He also had a pretty terrible reputation as a fuckboy, even amongst his frat brothers. His Instagram comments were usually filled with them, saying things like horniest man alive and all 2,500 of his followers are his girlfriends. He graduated at the end of that spring semester, and we saw each other one last time before. It was incredibly intimate and really cemented everything I felt for him. So, after we both left campus, I confessed to him that I really liked him and that I wasn't okay with just hooking up with him anymore for my own sanity. Miraculously, he said he also had feelings for me, and he asked me out on a real date. We started dating and have been together since, and the whole time has been healthy and happy for us. Last Thursday was our 1 year anniversary of becoming official. He got me an incredibly thoughtful gift basket, including some jewelry, a painting, and a card. In the card, there was a printed picture of a pros and cons list on a whiteboard. He explained to me that he saw my confessional message when he was hanging out with his brother. My BF said he really didn't know what to do and wasn't sure if he wanted anything more with me, but he was tired of sleeping around and wanted a stable relationship. So his brother said he should make a pros and cons list of me, and he did. Here's a paraphrase of the list. Pros: cute, great ass, good in bed, horny, likes me a lot, sweet, lots of friends, doesn't go out too much, close to her family, really smart and academically successful, good future ahead of her, and definitely not a gold digger, would do wifey duties. Cons: kind of a slut, met on Tinder, frat rat, blacks out a lot, doesn't care a lot about her appearance, kind of nerdy. Based off of that, he apparently decided to ask me out to dinner and then decide what to do based on how it went. And it went well enough that we started dating. He showed it to me with nothing but good intentions, but I was absolutely floored for obvious reasons. I've been pretending to be sick since then as I figure out what to do to. On the one hand, he is my dream man, and I am so glad to be with him. He has been nothing but incredible to me, and we have a great relationship. And logically, I know that he wasn't in love with me or anything when he asked me out, as I'm sure he had some idea of how I felt, and he never did anything about it. But it still hurts to think that his feelings towards me were so ambivalent that he needed a goddamn pros and cons list to just ask me out. I can't really talk about this to anyone in my life, as a lot of them already dislike him, and I don't want to bias them anymore. So I thought I would ask here, what can I possibly do? I like to think that I have more self-respect than this, but I really love him and don't want to cause conflict in our relationship over something he definitely didn't think would hurt me. TLDR, Got in relationship with fuckboy college FWB after he graduated, and I confessed. Have been dating for 1 year, but for our anniversary, he showed me a pros and cons list he made about me to decide if he should date me. First off, I just wanted to clear up a couple of things. No, he isn't the only man I've ever been with. I did lose my virginity to him, but I've been with plenty of men other than him after that. No, he didn't rape me the first time we slept together. I was drunk, but not blacked out. And I'm the one who told him to come over. I consented, and I enjoyed it, and continued talking to him afterwards. No, I don't have any STDs. I get regularly tested, and he's never given me anything, even though we often didn't use protection when we were just hooking up, including the first time. Now for the actual update. Everyone's comments were a real wake-up call. I did already realize at least somewhat that the entire time we'd known each other before dating, he had treated me like crap, but I justified being with him by saying that he'd changed because I'd won him. But the pros and cons list made me realize really just how little he thought of me, and giving it to me made me think that he still felt the same way towards me. It also made me realize that in his mind, he was settling for me, and that he probably only really liked me for the things I did for him. I also realized that although that was fine for a little, he is really hot TBH. I definitely didn't want to have kids or spend the rest of my life with a man who didn't actually like or respect me. I also did make my own list, as some of the comments said, which made me realize how much I was willing to overlook for an attractive man. I would never give it to him, because even though a lot of people seem to think I don't really love him, I do care about him a lot for some reason and would never do anything to hurt him. But here is the list. Pros: 6 feet 2 inches big, attractive, popular, good job, and makes lots of money. Close to family, can be sweet, pays for things, submissive. Cons: NPC has no hobbies or interests, drinks a lot, clearly doesn't respect me, kind of stupid, not interesting, hardly an intellectual, not well read, don't have a lot to talk about together, friends don't like him, not good in bed. My list made me realize that not only does he kind of have nothing going for him, but being with him also reflects pretty terribly on myself and my values. I'm not really ashamed of myself because I met him when I was 18, but I hope I will not be this shallow of a person for my whole life. So I broke up with him this morning over coffee. He wasn't really upset and was just kind of like, damn, okay. He did try to convince me to stay, but I was firm and we are officially broken up. I blocked him on everything because I have no self-respect when it comes to him, and I have no doubt he would try to booty call me soon if I didn't. My friends are all actually thrilled and are hosting a party for me tonight. My family was also pretty relieved. They didn't hate him, but they thought he was really stupid, and I think they're happy I won't be polluting the family lineage with idiocy on that level. So thank you everyone for the wake-up call. I guess I will see how adult life without him in it goes.